98.9 The Truth, Columbus and everywhere. WTRH. You're not listening to The Truth, then it's false.
Because I'm your wife. You can't fire me. We in this together.
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Well, I want to, because I know it's still your birthday weekend.
No. This is fun.
You were talking about how your son has autism.
Yes.
How'd you guys handle that when it first happened, when you first realized? Because I used to work with emotionally disturbed children, so I had a lot of autistic children, and I know those challenges I had just in the classroom. And it took me a while to understand, because we were hands on. So if a kid went there, we had to go there with them.
Yeah. So I want to know, like, how did you identify there was something that needed to be checked into, and what steps did you take in case somebody's listening is maybe going through the same thing?
Sure. I'll be brief. I talk a lot. Theater performance major. So sorry. Okay, so Drez was progressing typically. Okay. He hit about 1. He was speaking like normal, made eye contact like normal, played like normal. And then he hit about 1.5 years and he stopped talking.
Wow.
And we were like, that's not normal. Like, why are you going backwards, right? So, blessings of where I went to school. I actually went to school with a girl since 6th grade. One of my girlfriends, her name is Dr. Gola. She's now a pediatrician.
Okay.
And when I found out I was pregnant, I connected with her specifically regarding like where she was working. So she's been their pediatrician since birth. But I texted her and I said, hey, this is not normal, right? And she's like, nope. Went to his next appointment, and so it was like maybe a month or so out. She's like, okay, keep an eye on it. Let me know if anything changes. She said, but we'll talk more at the next appointment. And my father, who was also in education, noticed the same thing, obviously, and was like, yeah, we're gonna have to keep an eye on that. Like, we definitely want to ask Michelle to talk the doctor.
Oh.
He taught her in school alongside me. And so he said, make sure you talk to Michelle about it. And so, yeah, we went to the next appointment and she said, yeah, that is not normal. She's like, I don't want to scare you. But, he could be on the autism spectrum, which is what my dad had told me as well. So I had already kind of come to terms with this.
Okay.
I don't think I had shared it with Corey because I didn't want him to be alarmed.
Okay.
Or Corey has the tendency to I don't even know how to explain it. It's like he'd rather something be solid before he says it.
Right.
Which is cool.
Just
but
like this
I need
guy.
to talk things out or hear things out and think about lots of different things and get a lot of inputs and say all of those out loud and then reach the conclusion, right? So I didn't tell him about my father mentioning it to me. But we went to the doctor.
I'm finding that out right now.
Literally. I never told him that. But Michelle said that that's what it could be. It could be on the spectrum. I'm going to send in a referral for, him to get checked out at children. So, they don't give diagnosis for autism before 3 years of age. He was 2.
Okay.
And so because of the speech regressing, they put us in speech therapy for him, which helped a little bit. And then he got the diagnosis at 3. So we put him in a school that actually has supportive therapies.
Okay.
And he obviously got that help.
Flourished.
Now, thankfully, in our case, he is very high on the spectrum and he's high functioning.
Okay.
So there's not very many big issues that we have to deal with outside of his social skills, like teaching him to play with others, that kind of thing. Sometimes he would spin out and he would cycle in negative emotions. or being upset, literally would cycle. So he would be upset about it, and then we would calm him down, and then he would just rev himself back up for like an hour, which was like very frustrating.
Yeah.
And exhausting. But again, that was younger, and when he went through this school, if you're in Columbus and you think your child has any kind of disability, the Childhood League is freaking amazing.
Childhood League?
Childhood League is amazing. And they have like all the therapies in-house. They only go from toddler to preschool.
Okay.
And when your child leaves that school, trust and believe, it's going to be a different child.
Wow.
Okay.
They are amazing.
Tremendous.
I've never heard of that.
People don't really.
They don't. Yeah,
people that
people
run
don't
into
hear
our
about
son don't really.
It's small.
The teacher, his current teacher, just told us they don't really see anything wrong with him. Like they don't know. Like they gravitate to him because he's sweet as pie. I know everybody says that, but our child is really a sweet kid, and you can't really tell, and I'm glad about that. He's functioning to the point where you won't even really notice. Every now and then he'll have some little behavioral stuff where he'll go, and then we know now techniques to just blink that right on.
Right.
Okay.
So immediately we know exactly how to address it so that he doesn't spiral out of control or anything like that.
And
really sweet.
Yeah, and thankfully he doesn't have those like the typical things that you hear about when the child has autism, like they flap their hands or they have to like spin around in circles in order to like regulate themselves. He doesn't have those outward behaviors.
No,
so people generally
you wouldn't
would not
even know unless we told you.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. So that's a good thing.
It's a blessing. It really is.
Because it wasn't like that at first. I mean, Childhood League is so phenomenal and hands-on that when they got done and with us working with them, you know, and it's a joint effort. You can't just send kids to school and say, raise my child.
Yeah.
Like,
You have to be involved.
You have to be involved. And so, the Childhood League and then Children's Hospital, their speech therapy
phenomenal
department. They're amazing. Shout out to
so
Alexa.
well. I mean, to this day, just being able to have a conversation with them is just the world.
It took some time. It took some years, but now he's at a point where he jokes, like he makes little jokes and it's just like my kid is
it's refreshing. It's like we've been talking about this whole entire conversation. To see growth, you appreciate it when you've never had it. You know what I mean? I think people take things for granted, and this process has allowed me to just every little thing I take it, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm thankful for it.
Yes.
You don't take things like that for granted. So.
You can hear the rest of this episode and more of the Thursday podcast on Anchor.fm and Spotify. Follow your podcast hosts, Your Lady the Her and Hark Henry, also known as the Two Harks, on Instagram and Facebook at Two Harks. You can also follow them on Twitter at MSTAJ_HARK. You can listen to the Two Harks every Sunday on WMVU.org, part of the Radio Free Network. At 8 a.m., the Two Harks Music, Inspiration, and Fun. At 6 p.m., the world-famous Two Harks playing your favorite gospel, R&B, hip-hop, jazz, and soul. At 4 p.m., on gospelimpactradio.com, you can listen to the Two Harks Music, Inspiration, and Fun. If you ain't heard, you ain't been listening, tune in, and thank you for your ears.